In this video, I'm going to give you 7 tips so you can ace your Dada demo like a pro. If you haven't applied to Dada as yet and you're simply doing some research before you go ahead, I would greatly appreciate it if you would use the referral link below to apply to Dada for a job. Also in the description box you will find that there's a link for getting yourself TEFL certified if that's something that you haven't done yet, you're thinking about, and it's a heavily discounted rate, so certainly worth looking at. So let's begin. Be child friendly. Make yourself child friendly. Yes, your interview is with an adult who's pretending to be a child, but one of the things that you can do so that you come across as child friendly and approachable is to make sure that you are energetic through your interview, that you're smiling through your interview. These are 2 key things that they'll be looking for in one of their teachers. Use TPR. TPR stands for Total Physical Response. And what that simply is using body language. There's no book for this. You make it up as you go along, which is fantastic. All you need to do is to make sure that as you speak, you are using your body to emphasize what you're saying. So you can say, "What can you see?" as straightforward as that. Or you can transform it with TPR to "What can you see?" And that's what I mean by TPR. You're simply connecting your body language to the language that you're speaking. Number 3, greet your student. This part is really important. When you're in the classroom and you're doing your mock, this part, the way you enter into it, is super important. So I'm going to give you some tips and give you an example basically of what you could do. Hello, my name is Teacher Alicia. What is your name? Cup your ear to indicate they need to speak. Hello, Sam. How old are you? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How old are you? Great! Sam, let's sing! Hello, hello. How are you? Hello, hello. How are you? I am great. I am good. Hello, hello. How are you? Then you want to transition into whatever is on screen at that point. So you could do this. Look. And then circle an object on screen to bring their attention to it. You could ask, "What can you see?" or "What is it?" These are some tips for you to include in your lesson. When you want to begin reading, one of the things you can do is to underline where you would like your student to begin reading and use the words "let's read" and underline. So their eyes follow where you're underlining. You can also begin to read and then pause and just see, can this student read independently or do they need my support? And you'll be able to make that judgment. How it will go in your demo class, I don't know. Your demo student may decide they can't read anything at all, or they may decide that they can read a little, but this will give you some pointers on how to handle whatever situation is thrown at you. Another tip for you during your lesson is to circle items that you'd like them to pay attention to. If you like your student to write in a particular area on screen, you could highlight that area by marking it, underlining it, anything, drawing arrows to it, just anything that you can do to bring their attention to that spot on the screen. Keep your language simple. One of the things you don't want to do is to use complicated sentences. This child is learning how to speak English, so keep it simple. Use phrases such as, what is it? What can you see? Let's read. Sam, read. Smile all the way through. What you don't want to be saying is, Sam, we're going to read this section first, then we're going to go on to the next page, and no. Keep it very simple. 2-3 words. If you can bring it down to that as an instruction, that's all you need to do. Mispronunciations. You need to listen out for them so that you can correct them. It's really important. Your corrections can be as simple as just having them repeat the words. You may want to count out the syllables on your fingers if that's appropriate, but correcting mispronunciations is an important part of being a teacher of English as a second language. Props. I've mentioned this before, it's so important, and I'm going to go a little bit deeper into it. So yes, whiteboard, this is a standard prop, so you can circle items on there. You can write something down, so say you wrote the number 3, you may say to your student, what number is it? And you can cup your ear in expectation of an answer. And this is a way in which you can expand your lesson, because you may have a number line on screen which is 1 to 10, and this will bring another element into your lesson which isn't on the screen, and that is really important. If you can do that, bring those extra elements into your class whilst you're teaching, that is something that Dada sees as gold, really, expanding the lesson. This is really important. Also, take time to look through your lesson. If you have in your lesson, say there's a ruler in the lesson, there's pencil, something like that, try and find those things in your home so you can ask questions like this. So you can say, you can go over the material and then say, what is it? They give you an answer, pencil. What color is it? And so you can move on and expand the lesson in that way. If there's a doll on screen, that's something else you could bring into the classroom. If there are colours, if you've got something that's colourful, something you can bring in the class into the classroom that way. Again, this is all about building points towards getting through that demo class successfully. Rewards. This is another aspect as well. So when you're teaching, it's really important that you give your students reward. Give them some feedback so that they know they're doing a great job. One of the ways that you can do that is to bring your own reward into class. Yes, there'll be some form of on-screen reward where you give them stars, that sort of thing. But if you have a simple reward, which can be just a smiley face and great, smiley face, good job. That would be a really important aspect that you can bring into the classroom. One of the things that I like to do is to use this. I use stickers. So I will have this and I will place a sticker on the butterfly each time they do something that I think is really, really great. And that's important. So you're giving and bringing that additional reward into the classroom. Definitely give lots of praise. So whether it's high five, well done, good job, or good reading, Sam, be specific if you can, use the child's name, and that will really ensure that you're giving praise in a way that's really positive and that's recognized in a good way in your demo class. And finally, last of all, I wanted to say, be you. You've got to bring yourself, your personality, your character into your lesson. So look through your slides and see where you can introduce a little bit of you, and basically you need to show them what you've got. So those are my tips for you today. I hope you found them helpful. In my next video that's coming up, I will be going a little more into what's called expanding the lesson. So before, when I mentioned about using a pencil and bringing that into the classroom and then asking questions about that, I'm going to go over with you some further tips that will help you to expand the lesson. So if you think that's of interest to you, look out for that. And if this has been helpful, give it a thumbs up. Share it with a friend if you think that this would be helpful for them, if they're thinking of going into this line of work, and subscribe. So thank you. Correct any mispronunciations. This is really important. So listen out for them. You need to have caught that mispronunciation so that you can correct it. Start again.